welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am basically just going to be sitting here and having a chat with you for the next however long this video is. I was thinking what can I do for New Year's, and I was thinking I could do a get ready with me, or basically that was the only idea I kind of had in my head, and I thought, no, you know what, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do the chillest video I've probably ever done. I've made myself a cup of tea and I'm just going to sit here and we're going to talk through 2019, and basically I just want to chat. Like, I just feel like I haven't done that in such a long time. I'm literally just going to get straight on into the video, so I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please smash a huge thumbs up, and other than that, let's get started. For me, 2019 has probably been the best year of my life. There's definitely been a lot of highs and there've been a lot of lows as well, but as like an overall year, 2019 will go down in literal like history for me. Like, it just changed my life. I feel like the turning point for YouTube, like where everything kind of started to go really well for me, was 2018, but just 2019, the things I've gotten to do and the life that I've lived in the last year, like I said, I will literally never forget. I've made like a little list on my phone of like the months and some things that I want to talk about, because these are like the most memorable things for me throughout the year, and I basically just want to do like a roundup and just like a massive thank you. So January 2019, I got the best news at the beginning of January. I found out I was going to be making my own clothing line with a brand called Notice. It's completely sustainable, completely ethical, and it is out now. Like, it's literally out, but obviously in January I found out I was going to do it, and I found out, I want to say it was like January 5th or 6th. And I remember I went back to Hatton Byron's and I ordered myself a McDonald's. I got a big tasty and I just sat there like nearly crying into my burger, because it was the first kind of big thing that I'd always wanted to do from YouTube. And I just remember sitting there and I literally like could not believe that I was going to design my own clothes. January was also like a really big month for me because I moved house, and I moved out of my old house which I'd lived in for so long, and it's where like my YouTube had kind of grown from, and I moved here. That just for me, I feel like set the year off to an amazing start, because my room was so small and I can't even tell you how hard it was getting to do YouTube from that room, and now to come into this massive room and decorate it exactly how I want to decorate it and have the creative freedom that I've had has been incredible. So for our family to be able to move into a bigger house and Atticus get his own bedroom and my mum get her own bedroom again, because my mum and Atticus were sharing a room for like 4 years. It was incredible, and that was literally like the best start to the year. Like, it honestly couldn't have been better. February, one of the things that stood out to me the most was getting invited to the Brits. Now, my incredible management, Anastasia C, actually had a table at the Brits, and they invited me to go and sit with them, and I was there with Saf, Hannah, Renee. There was quite a few other people as well from like the other talent side of our management. I couldn't believe that I was on a table at the Brits. Like, Hugh Jackman performed, Pink performed, we got to see all the awards, Little Mix performed, and I never thought I'd get to go sit at the table at the Brits. Like, in my head I was like, oh my god, like celebrities sit on the tables, like why would I ever get to sit there? And me and my mum would always watch the Brits on TV every single year. So then when I suddenly went from watching it on TV last year to getting an outfit and sitting on a table, like a really good table as well, like I literally walked past Shawn Mendes' seat. It was crazy, and I loved my outfit as well. Like, my outfit was one of my favourite things that I'd ever worn. It was from Misguided. It was this beautiful like glitter play suit, and I remember feeling so amazing, and that was like just one night that will always stand out for me. And the after party was pretty sick as well. We got invited to the after party. Yeah, that was a mad one. In March, I then went on a couple of holidays. So I actually went to Miami with Motel Rocks. It was my first time going to Miami, and I'm going to be honest, Miami was never a place in my head that I'd always wanted to go, just because I hadn't really seen much about it. So when I got asked, I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool, like obviously I'm going to go. But then when I got there, I fell in love with the place. Miami was kind of everything I thought LA was going to be, in a really weird way. It's very like bougie. Every car you see on the road is literally a Lamborghini. Like, it's mental. And the team at Motel Rocks, this was the first time I'd met them, they are just so lovely, and they just treated us so well. And me and Saf went jet skiing for the day, and actually that was probably the monumental day of my life where I realised how much my life had changed. Motel Rocks was so lovely, and they were like, you girls can go and do whatever you want. So Saf had been jet skiing before and I'd never been, and I was absolutely terrified. I was like, Saf, I don't think I can do it. Like, I was adamant I was going to fall off. She was like, Anna, you're going to be fine, and I was absolutely fine. But we like found a company where we could hire one from. He took us on this little boat like right into the middle of where all the mansions were on the Millionaires Row, and we literally had maybe like an hour just driving around on this jet ski past all the mansions and past all the incredible buildings. I was like, Saf was driving it because I was too scared to drive it, and I was on the back, and in the end I just stood up and we were just screaming with happiness. We were literally like looking around like, what is our life? Like we couldn't believe, and we were just so happy to be able to experience that together. Like all we were saying to each other was, I love you so much, like I love you, I can't believe we're experiencing this together. He actually took a load of photos of us, but we've never posted them anywhere, we've just kept them for ourselves, and they're the best photos. Like it's just us looking super baby faced, having the time of our life, and I will never forget that day. That was like a monumental day for me. And then obviously that was an absolutely incredible trip. We went to so many amazing places. We went to a bowling alley that like Drake goes to, and thank you so much Photo Rocks for taking me there. And then a couple of days after I went to Miami, I actually went to Rome, and I went to Rome with two of my other best friends, Haz and Byron. We literally like had a super spontaneous trip, but I surprised Haz with it for a video. Byron booked on, and we went for 1 night 2 days, and we went sightseeing. We went to the best pizza restaurant ever in front of the Colosseum. I loved it. That was such an amazing 2 days. And then also in March I got to do a photo shoot with Linda Blacker, and Linda Blacker is the most incredible photographer. I have been a massive fan of her fairy tale YouTube series for so long, so when she messaged me saying, hi Anna, I would literally love to turn you into Rapunzel, I couldn't believe, I literally thought in my head, oh my god, I've made it. Because to me, like when you shot with Linda Blacker, I was like, okay, now you're a YouTuber. I couldn't believe that I'd done that, and the picture turned out so beautiful. So that was like a proper like monumental memory for me in March. Then we have April, and April was a bit more of like a chill one. I did Big Beauty Day Out where I met a lot of you guys. Again, Motel Rocks were amazing, and they actually took me and Saf to go and see Drake. I actually saw Drake twice that month. Basically Drake is my favourite singer, rapper, artist, whatever you want to call him. Every time I say I like Drake, people are like, wait, you listen to Drake? And I'm like, yeah, I love him. He's my favourite person ever. Fun fact, when I saw him for the second time, I cried because I got really overwhelmed. Yeah, so love Drake. Saw him twice in April. In May, this was like crazy to me. I got an email from my manager saying that Givenchy want to take you on a trip to Italy, and I was like, sorry, Givenchy want to take me to Italy? That's not normal. Like, why do they want to take me? In my head I was like, I don't fit into like the influencers that Givenchy would want to work with. Like, that's crazy. I went with Haz, G, Layla, and there was a couple other girls as well, and there was like the Givenchy makeup artist and the team, and we had Givenchy photo shoots, and we went on a boat trip to, I don't exactly remember what they were called, but it was like the bluest water I've ever seen, and it was all like the caves and stuff. It's really annoying me that I can't remember what it was called, but it was amazing. And that, like, I think it was like 4 days with Givenchy in the most incredible hotel, with probably again like a massive turning point. Whoa, like at 18 years old, Givenchy took me away. And then also in May, me and Haz represented the UK for Sleek, and we spent like 4 days at the Nobu Hotel in London, and there was loads of different people, loads of different girls from all over the world, and it was so much fun. We went out clubbing to tape, we went spray painting, we did like loads of different activities, and to be chosen to represent the UK was like massive. Thank you so much Sleek for that, and like me and Haz had the best time. And as well in May, I actually got to go to the BAFTAs. Kiko decided to take me and Saf, and we got all dressed up. We stayed in the Sea Containers Hotel, which was absolutely beautiful. We got our makeup done, we got our hair done, walked the carpet at the BAFTAs. I got Getty Images, guys. That was crazy to me to walk and like just see all the photographers like taking pictures, and then me and Saf got one which we actually didn't even realise made it to like Getty, and someone tweeted us it the other day, and we were like, oh my god, like look at that Getty image of us. It is so sick. And again, that was just crazy to walk the red carpet at the BAFTAs. And then obviously we got to watch the show, and again we went to the after party. So many amazing memories from that after party, and I'm so glad I got to share it with Saf as well, so thank you Kiko for that. That was incredible. June, so in June I actually flew to somewhere in Spain. I can't remember exactly where it was that we went, and we actually shot the photos and the campaign video for Notice, which was my clothing range that I bought out. That was so much fun. I'd always wanted to kind of like do a photo shoot like that, and every day we got our hair done, we got our makeup done, and just to shoot in my own clothes that I had designed was crazy. And the shoot location was beautiful. It was like this massive like artistic architectural building, and it was all like pink and blue, and the view was amazing. All the photos, they were proper like model-y type shots, which I'd always wanted to do, and the campaign video was amazing. And if you haven't seen it, I'll leave like links to it and stuff down below. Again, I was with some of my best friends, like Haz was on that trip, and we had such an amazing time. Also in June I went to Park Life, which was really fun. I love going to festivals. I went with like my friendship group, and we had such a funny weekend. I feel like you just, yeah, I'm not going to go into detail, but we went to a festival. I also got to walk the carpet at the Toy Story premiere, which was amazing. So thank you so much, Disney, for inviting us to do that. That was crazy. Like, that was literally crazy. Actually, that reminds me, back in March as well, I'm pretty sure it was March because it was when we got back from Miami, Disney actually took Saf and I to, I think it was Wales, and we went to the RAF base and we got to meet a load of RAF pilots and we got to sit in the planes, and we went with Kaz and Camilla from Love Island. That was amazing to be able to work with Disney on that, and it was for Marvel, like superheroes and women's superheroes and everything, and to work with Disney this year as well was incredible. So to go and do that with them in March and then to get invited to the Toy Story premiere, thank you. Kiss actually took me to Ascot. Again, I went with Saf and we got to go in the royal enclosure and we sat on the most amazing table, and me and Saf got so excited because we won, or like I think I won on my top 3 bets, buzzing with myself with the fact that I'd won. This was the first time like I'd ever gone to Ascot or ever betted or anything, and I couldn't believe I'd won. So that was a really, really good day, and to go again like in the royal enclosure and to get dressed up. I'd never wore a dress like that before. Like, I was in this like black flowy dress, and you had to obviously wear the hat which Kiss got made for us, and we had the most amazing jewelry, and just everything was incredible. So thank you so much, Kiss, for letting me experience that. In July, I actually went to LA. I went like end of June, beginning of July, and I went for 3 weeks. I went with Haz, Byron, Ella, Freya, and then Saf actually came out for like the last week we were there, so I actually also got to see Saf whilst we were in LA. We went to Universal, we went to the beach, we just did everything in LA, and I love going to LA. It was my 3rd time going and it was so much fun. I filmed the most amazing videos. I'm definitely going to go back next year for maybe like 3 or 4 weeks again. You see so many random celebrities. We were on the scooters driving along Santa Monica and Venice Beach, and a car like stopped to let us go, and we looked in the window and it was Julia Roberts, and she was going like that and laughing at us because we were all like, oh my god, it's Julia Roberts. Like, we literally all lost it. LA was like crazy. Like, that was a crazy couple of weeks. Again, this month was massive for me because the day after I got back from LA, I actually went and did a photo shoot with Boots and Glamour, and I don't know if you guys have seen it because I saw so many people tweeting it like, this looks like Anna, but I don't know if it's Anna. And I basically got to shoot a Halloween campaign that come out in October, and they turned me into a cat, and it went all over like Glamour magazine, it went all over Glamour website, it was all on the adverts, it was on Boots adverts. It was crazy to see myself like that, and we got to film a little campaign video and obviously had photos and stuff, and I did a makeup tutorial for the Glamour website, I think it was, but to be picked for that was crazy, and I couldn't believe I was in Glamour. Like, guys, like, Glamour. I worked with Glamour. Sorry. Just have to say it one more time. I don't know if I actually said in July, but I'm actually on the Boots Council. Boots decided that they wanted to work with me for a year. It was a long time coming. We'd had a couple of meetings and then it finally went through, and I just remember getting the text like, you're on the Boots Council, like, you're an ambassador for Boots, like, you've made it. I couldn't believe. I was like, are you actually serious? And then the first thing I did for Boots was the Glamour photo shoots. Thank you so much, Boots. I mean, I'm still on the Boots Council. I'm on the Boots Council for like another 6 months, I think it is. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I love you guys. I've done so much work with you. We had so much fun at Thorpe Park when we went in October as well. So yeah, that was pretty monumental. Then in August, I actually went on another trip with Motel Rocks, and this time we went to Bali, and I was just blown away. I had the best trip. Bali was on my bucket list. It was a place I always wanted to go. Saf was actually meant to come as well, but because Saf was doing Strictly, she had to drop out last minute. So I went with Hannah and Mads, and that was one of the best weeks ever. I travelled 18 hours alone, which was massive for me. But I had to fly from Gatwick to Dubai to Bali, and then on the way back again, Bali to Dubai to UK. That was a long flight, but I got to experience Emirates first class, which was amazing. I made a whole video on that if you want to go and see, but Bali's one of the best places I've ever been, and next year I'm actually planning on going travelling for maybe about 3 or 4 months, and I'm going to go to Bali again. I'm going to spend maybe 3 or 4 weeks in Bali. I want to go but spend longer in each place because I think we were there for like 6 full days, and the monkey forest was one of the best things I'd ever done. But yeah, I just want to go and do it again, really. Then at the end of August, I went to Paris with my mum and Atticus, and we went to Disneyland, which was the trip that I surprised them with earlier on in the year, which loads of people thought was fake. No, why would I do that? Like, literally, why would I do that? We went to Paris, we went to Disneyland for like 4 days. It was so much fun. Atticus loved it. I really want to go back, and yeah, I hadn't been to Disneyland like with my mum since I was like 6, because I went with my mum and my nan when I was like 5 or 6, and obviously I wanted to take Atticus whilst he was young, so that was really cool to be able to do. In September, I again went travelling. I've been super lucky to do so much travelling this year. One of my home best friends, Tanisha, was doing Camp America for like 2 or 3 months in America, and then she said to me, why don't you come and join me when I'm finished and we can go travelling? And I was like, you know what, I want to do it, like let's just do it. So I flew to Miami. I met her in Miami and we stayed 4 days in there, and then as Bahamas was so close, we were like, okay, let's get a flight to the Bahamas. So we stayed in the Bahamas for 2 days. We went to the Atlantis, which was the biggest dream of mine. My dream holiday is the Atlantis in Dubai, the Palm Atlantis. I don't know if you've heard of it. We got to go to one in the Bahamas, and then we also did a day trip to go and swim with the pigs. That, like, hands down was one of the best days of my life. The pictures are adorable. I absolutely loved it. So we went to the Bahamas, and then from the Bahamas we flew to Washington DC, but we had a layover flight. I think we might have stopped in Atlanta. I don't know if it was Atlanta though, I can't remember. The one thing I've always wanted to do, like, I have an obsession with spies. I don't know if you know, but I always wanted to be a spy. I wanted to work for MI5, and we got to go to the Spy Museum in Washington, which is one of the best museums ever, and we got to see the White House, and we got to see like the Capitol building and all of the things I've always wanted to see because I have a fascination and an obsession with it. From Washington we flew to the final destination, which was New York, and we spent 3 days in New York. Darren Brown on Broadway, we saw Mean Girls on Broadway. We got to experience New York on 9/11, so we actually went to the 9/11 memorial, and it was so beautiful to pay our respects on 9/11, like on that evening, and they do such an amazing memorial, so to be able to go and experience that as well was like really, really nice. And just that whole trip was something I will never ever forget, considering as well, before we went, Tanisha would never get on a train by herself, and then suddenly we went travelling around like the east coast of America by herself. Like, that was crazy. In October, it was my birthday. I turned 19 years old, and I also got to go and see Saf on Strictly, which was a night I will never forget. I got to go see her on week 3 when it was movie week, and she did the Hunger Games, and I still remember, like, I literally cried. The first week when I watched her perform, I was in my room and my mum was at my nan's watching it, and I was here alone. I was sobbing. I knew it was like her dream to go on Strictly. She's spoken about it for years, so to finally see it actually happening and then to go and see it in real life as well was crazy, and I never thought I'd get to do that. So that was like massive for me in October. I was so proud of her. And then my glamour campaign came out in October as well for Halloween, so that was crazy to see everyone's reaction. And then I also did another photo shoot with Linda Blacker. She asked to do like a Halloween themed shoot, and we did this kind of creepy ghost girl thing. I looked really scary. Like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my god, I actually don't look like me. So that was really cool again to shoot with Linda, so thank you for wanting to shoot with me again. In November I hit 1 million subscribers, which was yeah, no words. After doing YouTube for 8 years and then seeing 1 million on my channel was like the biggest achievement of my life, and I don't think you can see it. It's just on my shelf up there. I've got my 1 million plaque, and I still look at it every single day and I'm like, wow, like, you really did that. That's just like a massive thing for me, and thank you so much, because that's what I mean. Like, 2019 was such a massive year because I hit 1 million subscribers, and like my 1 million subscriber video is probably one of my favourite videos I've ever uploaded. So if you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It is literally a run through from me on YouTube when I was 11 right up until I'm 19, and I go through every single part of my YouTube journey. So that happened in November. And then I also got to be on the Pretty Little Thing podcast, which was so much fun because Pretty Little Thing is one of my favourite brands. I get the majority of my clothes from there and Misguided. When I found out, like, my manager said, like, Pretty Little Thing have reached out, they want to work with you, they want you to be on the podcast, I was like, oh my god, I listen to their podcast all the time. And then I also went to Berlin in November with Tanisha again. We kind of had a bit of like a travel bug, like we were like, we just want to get on a plane and go. So she actually booked it for us like way before November. I think we booked it a couple of weeks after we got back from America, and we went to Berlin for like 3 days. That was so much fun. We went to museums, we went to all the touristy spots, we went to the Spy Museum, which was, literally can't even tell you how amazing that was. Luckily, Tanisha loved going to learn about spies as well, so she's like all up for going to the spy museums with me, which is great. And then we're into December, which is now, even though the day you're seeing this, I think it's 2020, but when I'm filming this, it's December, and this month we actually announced our podcast. I have a podcast with 2 of my best friends, Haz and Byron. It's called Entirely Accurate, and we basically talk about things that are not entirely accurate, and we are teenagers growing up in a super hard age to grow up in, a very digital age, and we just talk about what it's like to grow up online and answer your dilemmas, and basically just tell unseen and uncut stories that you guys probably wouldn't think of me It's a really cool podcast. We upload one episode every single week. By the time you guys are seeing this, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 episodes out. As it stands right now, there's like 3 episodes. A new episode came out yesterday actually, and we've got really special guests on it. We had a special guest on the previous episode if you want to go and listen to it, but it's available on Spotify, it's available on Apple, on Entail, and that is crazy to us to have our own podcast and our own creative space to kind of talk about and create whatever we want. And then this month I was also in Take a Break magazine, which is really cool. A couple of months ago, I think it was in October, I actually went and spent a day in London with a little girl called Regan, and she said that I was her favourite YouTuber, so I surprised her with a day, and we went to New Look and we went on a little shopping spree and we tried on a load of clothes, and then Take a Break covered the whole story and did a little article on it. That was really cool to be in Take a Break magazine because I always used to read that magazine and do the crosswords with my nan when I was younger. So that was kind of my year in a nutshell, and like some of the main things that stood out to me. I feel like I forgot some and I'm going to feel really bad, and some it's going to like spring to my head when I'm editing this video. Oh, that's a really good cup of tea. But I also made a list of some of the brands I just want to thank that I've worked with this year. Like, I worked with McDonald's, Boots, Missguided, Motel Rocks, Lounge, Foreo, Too Faced, Disney, Givenchy, Rimmel, Benefit, The Body Shop, and so many more. And to be able to work with all of those amazing brands at 18 and 19 was something I never thought would happen. So thank you so much to all the brands that, and I haven't mentioned as well, you know who you are, that I have worked with and you've wanted to work with me and just supported me through everything that I do. I really, really appreciate you and I love you. Most of all, I just want to thank you for continuously watching my videos, always supporting me throughout whatever I do. You know, it can be really hard growing up online and growing up in front of a lot of people watching your every move, and I know sometimes I don't do everything right, and that's fine because you're going to make mistakes, you have to learn from your mistakes. But for people to support me and watch my videos every day, like you watching this right now, if you've made it this far, I really, really, really appreciate you. Thank you. It is crazy, and you have made all of my dreams come true, and this year, like I said, will go down in history books. And as well, whilst you're watching this video, I'm actually going to be in Barbados with my best friend. Me and Saf are going away for New Year. I leave to go to Saf's on Boxing Day and then we fly the next day, so when you are watching this, I'll probably be by a pool chilling with some sunglasses on, which I just literally cannot wait, because every holiday I've been on, I've like filmed it and worried about filming it, but me and Saf have said like we want to have a holiday where we just spend time with each other and we just have so much fun. So we've got a lot of stuff planned. We're kind of like finalising what we're going to do on Boxing Day, but we've treated ourselves to really nice flights and we're going to have the best time ever. I cannot wait. I've always wanted to go to Barbados. Basically, me and Saf have spent 2 New Years together. So the first New Year we had a party at Saf's, and I'm not gonna lie, I got absolutely hammered and I felt the worst I'd ever felt the next day. I had genuinely never felt so ill. I couldn't move. I think we woke up at maybe 3 or 4. The only place we could get to was Pizza Hut. We had pizza and I honestly thought I was going to end it all there and there. That was the worst hangover I'd ever had, and we didn't want to feel like that again. So the next year we were like, no, we don't want it to be like this again. We actually want to be able to enjoy ourselves and start the new year off really, really good. So I went down to Saf's and we spent the new year with one of her friends, Grace, and we played games and we watched the fireworks on TV and we had snacks and it was so much fun. And then Wendy and Darren got back and we just played games like Cards Against Humanity and stuff, and it was so nice because I woke up and I felt fresh as hell on January 1st and we went for a run. Like, yeah, Saf got me to go for a run. So this new year we were like, what do we do? Okay, we're gonna go on holiday, because every December we've always been on a holiday. Like this year we're going to Barbados, last year we went to New York, and the year before that we went to Paris. So we're also like a little tradition now that we always go away at some point in December. But this year we're just doing it over New Year, which I actually can't wait for because I'm gonna be in Barbados. Like, I'm literally gonna be lying there in the sun. I can't wait to tan. But that is it. I mean, I don't know how long this video is. I feel like I've kind of rambled on a bit, but I just kind of wanted to sit and like talk and just enjoy myself. And it's Christmas Eve today, so I just wanted to have a really chilled one, you know. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching all my videos in 2019. I cannot wait to see what 2020 is going to bring. I have the really, really, really good feeling about it. Like, I think 2020 is going to be like just as good but better, and I just can't wait to carry on making videos and hopefully do some exciting stuff, and it's just going to be really, really good. So thank you very much for watching. I really hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, please smash a huge thumbs up. Let me know if you want me to do more chilled videos like this, because I really enjoyed it. Like, really, really enjoyed it. I love you all so much. I hope you had the best Christmas. I hope you had the best New Year, because I'm pretty sure this is going up in 2020, and I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.